Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This week is the second week of the murder trial for George Floyd, and the class is going to be to bring strength and healing to the heart. It will definitely have that impact on us as individuals, and maybe we can have an impact on all the people surrounding this that also need strength and healing to their hearts. You will need a bolster of some sort. It could be a tightly rolled up towel. It could be, I'm going to use this pillow folded in half. It could be a pillow off your bed. And I'll give you a moment to get that while I talk us through getting set up for tuning in. The first thing we'll do is feel a sense of our own strength and stability. A great way to do that is feeling that you have some connection to the ground. We always have a connection to the ground and gravity. Have your focus be on feeling the weight of your body and the substance of the ground or the chair that you're sitting on holding you up. You can cultivate a sense of heaviness in your low body. You could feel as though it's made of slightly denser matter than the rest of you. Another great technique is to feel as though there's a root system descending down into the ground. Wonderful. Now let's pay attention to breathing for a minute or so. There's no need to change the way that you're breathing. It's more about noticing all of the components of your breath. Feeling the breath as it alters the shape and dimension of your torso. The waves of movement that the breath moves down through the extremities. Maybe the sound of your breath. And then the wonder of any time that we notice our breath, we automatically get calmer. And if you'd like to make the last couple of breaths, sighing breaths, to help you shake off anything that's on your mind or on your heart, go ahead and do that. Wonderful. We'll do one last alignment technique. If you like, you can feel that where you're sitting is directly below the top of your head, that the base of the body is pressing down and the top of the body is lengthening up. If it helps you to place a hand on your head to get that sensation, and do that. Wonderful. All right, so hopefully everybody's got their bolster or bolster substitute. Let's bring our hands together. We'll chant Om Namo Gurudev Namo 3 times. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Great. Go ahead and interlace your fingers, cup them around the base of your skull. Get some awareness of your shoulder blades. You can move them up and down a little bit. Then actively draw them down your back towards your bottom. Move them in and out from side to side. And then consciously move them to a place that's further towards your spine. And notice how that helps your elbows to widen and open. Yeah. Let your chest expand and open. If you feel that your low back is collapsing forward, if you feel your belly is collapsing forward, maintain the opening in the chest and scoop the abdominal area towards the spine. Great. Let's go ahead and do breath of fire in this position, feeling as though visualizing energy, health, breath coming to the center of your chest. Great, keep going. There's a couple of things you can do to enhance the practice. Continue to draw the shoulders back and wider apart, like you're trying to draw your elbows to the side walls. Feel the expansion in your chest. And if you can, visualize two triangles, one pointing up, one pointing down, creating the shape of a Star of David in the center of your chest. Keep going and keep creating a sense of stretch and expansion in every direction in your chest. Feel as though you're stretching out chronic muscular tension. You may even be able to feel like you're stretching out your diaphragm. Perfect. Deep inhale. Draw energy up. Seal energy in the base of the body by working with Mul Bandh. Pull energy and breath up into your chest and feel it expand even more. Great. Release. Okay, so we're going to use our bolster a couple of times and we'll go ahead and get ready for using it the first time. We're going to lie on our backs with it, with whatever you're using, bunched up as much as you can so that it's right around the chest line. So we're going to fold that guy in half. Get it underneath your chest as high up as it will go. Take some time to snug your torso around the bolster. And then you can repeat this a few times. Lift up with your legs so that you can push your shoulders closer in contact with the ground. Keep that connection and then come back down. Great. You can also see what it feels like to lift your head up. Snug your shoulder down more. Nice. And then here, move your arms through reaching them away, coming back down into a cactus shape. Reaching them away. Do that a few times. Great. Let's go ahead and lift up again. Snug your shoulders. Get them in contact with the ground. And then lower your chest back over your bolster. And now perhaps move your arms out to 45-degree angles, working more into the pecs this time. Continuing to actively lift the chest as you actively bring the shoulder blades closer to the ground. Great, and let's do one more. Lift up, get those shoulder blades down there. perfect. And then you can try some additional arm movements. And for this last one, go ahead and keep those shoulders snug down. You might feel like a mild burning sensation as connective tissue loosens up. And you can drop your knees from side to side. When you drop them over to one side, it'll enhance the stretch in this whole armpit area. And the other side. Keep drawing those shoulder blades back, so the shoulders to the floor. All right, great. Go ahead and just roll all the way over to that side. Come up, we'll come up onto hands and knees. So we'll use cat-cow to help us continue to limber up through the chest. So as you're doing cat-cow, think about this being the main area that you want to emphasize in the arching back and forth. And you can even keep a little tone in your abdomen to make sure that the torso, the upper torso, is where the majority of the movement is. So let's go into cow, dropped down chest to start out. We'll hold it for a bit. So your chin is lifted up as high as it can go. See if you can get your shoulders further around on your back. If it's really uncomfortable in your shoulders, you can try rotating your hands so the thumbs are a little bit further away, pinkies are a little closer to you. And now we'll do a movement of the head. So feel like you're reaching the top of your head as firmly as you can towards the ceiling. Keep your chest where it is, but drop your chin to your chest. So lengthen through the front of the neck. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Great, return to neutral, and we'll round the spine, really emphasizing the back of the chest. And then let's move the chest. Expand the chest. Breathe deep. Stretch the back of the chest. Right, now to the best of your ability, lift one arm up as high as you can and feel like you're getting more movement in your rib cage. Lower down, other side, alternate side to side. Inhale as you expand, exhale as you drop. Great, and then we'll do where you bring your hip and your shoulder towards each other, doing your best to make space in the ribs on the opposite side of your body. And then go the other way, getting as much space as you can between the ribs and the side. And go back and forth a couple of times. Fantastic. All right. So for the next one, you can do this in a squat or sitting in a chair. Either one is great. If in either position, the arm that's down, you can leverage it against the inside of your leg to keep the low body stable, neutral, not twisting, and emphasize the twist in the rib cage and chest. So we're gonna just take the opposite arm, reach it up towards the ceiling. Get as much stretch and expansion in your rib cage as you can. Good, let's do the other side. First side. All right, this time, see if you can twist your entire torso so that your face looks a little bit more towards the ceiling. Reach through your fingers, reach, reach, reach. Good. Second side. Emphasize that twist in your rib cage, getting the face to look up towards the sky. Great, one more time to each side. So reaching up, and again, sharp shooting pains or nerve impingement, and you want to stop whatever you're doing if you feel that. But if you feel like a rope burn sensation, a hot sensation, then that is bound up muscle and connective tissue that we want to stretch out. And second side. Good, onto hands and knees. Step the left leg back. Right foot comes forward into a low lunge. Repeating the same thing, but we're able to get a little more range in this position. Twist up. And you can even take your hand down to your hip and really focus on the chest being what's rotating. Great, come down and switch your legs. And bring your hand to your hip so that you can really work through the chest using your hands and arms to help leverage your chest towards the ceiling. Lovely. Okay, down onto the belly for some variations of cobra. In particular, I mean, cobra in general is done with the belly on the floor so that the range of motion that's getting emphasized is in the rib cage and the chest. And today, we're definitely going to be focusing on keeping the belly on the ground. So if that means that your cobra is a sphinx, then that is perfect. So we're going to repeat something that we did earlier. You want to get as much arch in your spine as you can. Again, if you feel discomfort in your shoulders, rotating your hands out to the side can help get your shoulder blades into the right spot. You can also use pushing your hands into the ground to get the top of your head moving more towards your feet. Oh boy. Feel your chest expanding forward. Feel your shoulders moving towards the side walls. Good, so keep as much expansion moving forward in your chest, moving forward in your chest, and then chin drops down, chin lifts up, enhancing the stretch. Drop the chin down, lift it up, drop it down, lift it up. Each time you lift up, see if you can get the back of your head moving or the top of your head moving even more towards your feet. Perfect. Come to neutral. For the next bit, if it feels okay on your back, go ahead and bring your feet up. It'll help you with balance. And you may need to move your arms a little bit closer towards your midline, again, for balance. Raise one arm up, level with your shoulder, and back down. Up and down. for all of the practices that we're doing, you can stick with that image of the two bisecting triangles, creating a sort of Star of David shape. And we're gonna, if you have the range of motion, keep going, but take your arms up higher. Feeling a lifetime's worth of restrictions and holding and constriction, loosening up as you go just a bit longer. Great. You can lower down onto your stomach. All right. Fingers interlaced behind the back. We're going to pull our chest up away from the floor and then inhale through the nose, strong exhale through the mouth. Keep going. If you can pull your hands away from your body and draw them even more towards your feet, do that. And as you're going, feel like that powerful breath is energizing your heart. Inhale and lift up more. Exhale, lower down. Turn your head to one side or the other. Relax for a little bit. Our body has natural reflexes, parts of our nervous system that we cannot control, one of which is to stressors, especially startling stressors. In fact, it's called the startle response. And in that circumstance, the muscles on the front of the body draw in and down. And unless we actively counteract that, we can get stuck in that more restricted position. All right, a little bit more, not too much more. Go ahead and reach back and hold on to where you can, as close to your ankles as you can get. If it's hard to reach, your knees can be wider, but just make sure you don't feel pinching in your back. If you've got your knees really wide, you might want to just keep the legs on the floor and just work with the chest. But if you can arch up with no pain in the low back, you can rock back and forth. Great, inhale, arch up. Exhale, come down. And then find a forward folding position that feels the best for you. You can roll over onto your back and be a doodle bug, or you can push back into child's pose. Or if you'd like a little more intensity to this transition, you can come up into
rabbit pose, kind of like you're about to do a somersault. Get a little more stretch along the back of the body. And then find a position to rest in for a minute. All right, we're going to do one final posture before meditation. And this is a repeat of what we did first off. So come onto your bolster. If you enjoyed the practice of lifting your hips up to help get your shoulders further to the ground, you can do that. And this time we're going to work with something like the arm position in back bending. So you're going to take the fingertips to the floor and start to push the palms towards the ground. You can experiment with some different hand positions. You might make your hands a little wider. If you've got the range of motion, you can bring your hands a little closer towards the top of your head. And then work to get your shoulder blades to touch the floor, even with your fingertips maintaining contact with the ground. Direct your breath towards the spots of tension. You might even visualize the tension with a shape or a color and feel the breath dissolve the tension. Now, in addition, try and make your shoulders as wide as they can go, reaching towards the side walls as well as to the floor. Feel your chest lifting towards your chin. And for the last little bit, we're going to create the back bend shape more with our torso. So you're going to actively stretch the front of your body, the front of your chest towards the sky. If it's comfortable to have your legs extended out straight, you can do that. Visualize that Star of David shape in the center of your chest, the upward pointing triangle and the downward pointing triangle, the heart as the spot of integration between our less than human qualities and our greater than human qualities. Intersection represented by these two diamonds, two triangles. All right, great. I think that was good enough. Take your arms down, feel the circulation, all body. And then we're going to roll to the side and get ready for meditation. An idea that you might want to consider as we move to this chanting We'll be chanting Hummy Hum Brahm Hum for healing and strength to the heart. And the idea that I will propose to you is that any crisis that we encounter is an opportunity to examine what needs to change. And hopefully that's what's going to happen with this trial. All right, so for those of you who sit in Siddhasana or any of the more advanced meditation postures, get yourself set up. Otherwise, find what's going to be the most comfortable and pick the hand mudra that resonates with you. You might press your hands into your chest. You might want to do the healing mudra of the hands here, Gyan mudra, whichever. Play with that for a second and determine which one works the best for you. And I am going to start the chant in just a moment. It's maybe a different tune than you've chanted before, but you'll get the hang of it quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and start that now.
Hummy hum, brahm hum,
Hummy hum, brahm hum, hummy hum, brahm hum, hummy hum, brahm hum, hummy hum, brahm hum, hummy hum, brahm hum, hummy hum, brahm hum, hummy hum, brahm hum, hummy hum, brahm hum, hummy hum, brahm hum. Hummy hum, brahm hum, 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 hummy hum, brahm hum. Hummy hum, brahm hum, 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 hummy hum, brahm hum. Hummy hum, brahm hum, 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 hummy hum, brahm hum. Hummy hum, brahm hum, 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 hummy hum, brahm hum. Hummy hum, brahm hum, 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 hummy hum, brahm hum. Hummy hum, brahm hum, 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 hummy hum, brahm hum. Hummy hum, brahm
hum, hummy hum, brum 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 hum.
hami hum, bram hum, 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 hami hum.
And moving towards the last few repetitions.
Bram hum, hami hum, 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 bram hum.
We'll do one final brief meditation, visualization that's to pierce the heart, to open the heart, and to prime ourselves for that. Let's do 3 rounds of Mahabandha. Mahabandha does a deep and profound compression on the heart, and then as that compression is released, blood flow, dynamism, energy floods into the heart. So sit in a way that you can comfortably press down into your knees. Take a really expansive inhale where you feel your abdomen stretching, expanding. And then as you exhale, straighten your arms so that you can press down into your knees, squeeze out every bit of breath that you have. Lift up on the pelvic floor. Lift your chest towards your chin to your chest. Release all of those things. Lift your head to breathe in. Take a couple of relaxed breaths as you are aware of the fire in your belly, the warmth, the dynamism, in particular, what we want to feel here is a warm nectar in the belly, like heated up honey in your belly. And as we do this 2 more times, develop your awareness of this heat, perhaps this warm nectar in your belly. Relax all of the compressions to lift your head and breathe in. Some normal breaths as you feel the fire, the warm nectar in your belly. And if you feel as though a 3rd round would be beneficial, let's do the 3rd round. Again, concentrating on the warm, maybe even hot nectar in your belly. Take one hand, a fingertip or two to your navel point, and trace a line that moves right across the center of your chest up to the pit of your throat. Release, bring your hand back down to your navel point, and on an inhale, feel like you're pulling that warm nectar up, piercing through the heart and up to your throat, where it cools. Good. We're going to add 2 additional things to the practice. First, establish ujjayi breath. That's that raspy breath, like you're a snoring baby. Notice that it produces a sound, and that following that sound can help you focus. Notice that the slight constriction in the throat allows you to stretch out the length of your inhales and exhales. And the last thing I'd like you to notice is that the use of ujjayi allows you to get a little more power behind your exhale. And we'll use that in a moment. The second thing that we'll do in addition to ujjayi is Khechari mudra. So the tongue comes up as far back along the roof of your mouth as you can. You want to actually try and feel the soft palate with your tongue. We won't do this very long. It's going to be uncomfortable. Go to the furthest extremes of your range of motion, experiencing the discomfort, and you'll understand why in just a moment. So tongue in Khechari mudra. Take your attention down and feel the warm nectar in your belly. And on an inhale, use ujjayi to help you draw that nectar up, piercing the heart. And sitting at the throat, cooling, cooling. And then with ujjayi, force that cool nectar up to where your tongue is pressing, Lalani chakra, and feel it dissipate and spread everywhere. All right, we're going to do this 9 times all together. Take your, and we'll start to do it more immediately on every single breath. So warm nectar in the belly. Ujjayi breath, tongue all the way up, pressing into Lalani chakra. And on the inhale, warm nectar pierces the heart, resides at the throat pit where it cools. And then with the power of ujjayi breath, send it up to where the tongue is pressing, and feel that nectar dissipate. Focus goes back to the navel, warm nectar. The cool nectar pooled at the throat. Now shooting it up to where the tongue is pressing. It's like we're inhaling this nectar, like you'd take in the bouquet of a great wine. From the navel point, focus comes immediately back down to the warm nectar at the navel. Inhale up, piercing the heart, opening the heart, expanding in the heart, cooling at the throat pit. And when you're ready to exhale, Lalani chakra. Back to the navel. Feel the expansiveness in your heart. I think that was number 4. Back down to the navel for 5. Warm nectar, draw it up with the breath. Crack the heart open, pierce the heart. Expand your heart's ability to sustain joy and sorrow. Nectar cooling at the throat, and then shoot it up to where the tongue is pressing. Back to the navel. Back to the navel. And final time. Perfect. Now you can either relax on your back for gong meditation, or if you'd prefer to sit and meditate, go ahead and do that. Wonderful. We're going to start to transition out of our practice together. So if you want to wiggle your fingers, roll your wrists, shrug your shoulders, work through your toes, your feet, your ankles. You may want to stretch your whole body. If you're on your back and you want to rub the soles of your feet together, do that. Rub the palms of your hands together. If you'd like to do a little twisting side to side, do that. And if you're on the floor, go ahead and rock yourself all the way back upright. If you like, you can bring your hands to your heart to close out. I am reminded of Townes Van Zandt lyric, "I would swim the sea for to ease your pain." And we can't. There's some people I can't muster that feeling for, but there's many people that I can. So for the people that we can do that for, let's bow. Sat Nam, Namaste. And hopefully everyone has someone that feels that way for them. See you next time.